This is Rob Carbone, and you're listening to BD4, where there's no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis.
What is going on, guys? This is Rob Carbone coming at you with another episode of BD4, where there is no better way to get your Yankees and Knicks analysis. Tonight, we're going to do episode 83. Obviously, I've got a guest with me, my buddy Dom. He's a diehard Yanks fan. He is a friend of the show. Dom, what's going on? And thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having me, Rob. This is,
It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about the Yanks tonight.
I'm your second guest. I'm honored here, Rob.
The second guest. I've tried to get so many people on before, but I've had no idea how to do it, but we figured it out. And, I guess we're just going to talk on the Yankees tonight because shit has been going down, man. And
oh, man.
You know what's it's annoying because, like, it started with the Aaron Hicks thing, right? I could deal with that. I was fine with that, whatever. I don't think Hicks is that good of a player. And then it comes down, it's fucking Paxton, and then we get the Severino news, and we get the Judge news, and the Stanton news, and it's like, when does it stop, you know?
Yeah. I mean, with Hicks, like you said, he's not that great of a player, and he's always hurt. And coming into this season, we were kind of already expecting with Hicks, because last year he was down, and then was he coming back or not? He should have had the surgery, but it was just a whole weird thing with Hicks last year. So, I mean, not having him this year, it's kind of just whatever. But then, Paxton, again, another guy you expect to be injured every year. And then spring training starts, and you hear Judge is...
Again.
Everybody's just going down. Just a continuation of last year.
It's so frustrating because you've got this team that obviously has the talent. They've got the talent part down, and and after an offseason where we just got Garrett Cole, and he's at the peak of his career right now. He's ready to strike, and he's coming off a championship a couple of years ago. Or no, he wasn't there actually, but
he didn't.
But still, he's coming off a Cy Young type season where he could have won that easily, and now he's at the peak of his prime. You could have had potentially a nice 1-2 punch with Severino, and of all the players that are injured right now, I think it's pretty obvious that the Severino injury is definitely the one that probably hurts the most because. While he's not been that great to start his career, and I've been kind of down on him, he holds more ceiling than the guys we have currently right now. And there was the ceiling to where he could have been a nice number 2, and now it's just we've got fucking Jay Happ as our number 3 pitcher now, and it's like, how are we going to fare through a season where it just seems like once again this rotation is at best above average?
Yeah, I mean you said it. He would have been. He has the potential to be a 1, although we call him fake ace for a reason.
No,
but I mean, for all of 2017, he was a number 1, and for the first half of 2018, he was like the best pitcher in the AL. And then you saw what happened in the second half, where he was probably the worst starter. So I mean, coming into this season, just 2 weeks ago, you would really have no idea what to expect out of him. He could have been a great compliment to Cole. You could expect him to have a 18-10 with a 2.95, or you wouldn't be shocked if he went 15, same record, but with a 3.85. You just don't really know. But he had the upside to complement Cole perfectly, but, I mean, we're not going to see that this year.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, at least it just sucks. And now we have the Stanton news. I'm not, I definitely expected it, and it's not something I'm worried about because if you think back to last season when he wasn't even there, the Yankees did such a better job, at least in the regular season, without him hitting the ball at a high clip and keeping the line going, so to speak, and just connecting and making contact and shit. So I think losing him is potentially be a benefit.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's a good thing. I will trade out his bat for Andujar.
Absolutely.
Like, bro, I'm all in for that.
So I'm definitely I'm definitely for that. But I don't know. I just overall looking at this Yankees team, man, it's the three guys you really need to keep healthy now. I'm looking at Gleyber, Torres, LeMahieu, and obviously Cole. Any of those guys go down for any kind of significant period, it's over. And there's really no point of even having any kind of hope. You have to keep those three healthy, and without them, man, it's pretty much a lost cause. So they have to do whatever we have to do to keep those guys on the fucking field.
I think DJ at the top is so crucial, bro. Just him just starting off games, starting off innings, or prolonging innings, just slapping singles to right field. It's so important. Like, people like, oh, he just hits singles, but it's so important. If you've ever played baseball and the pitch and like a guy gets a hit off you, and just from going from the windup to the stretch, like just even that changes everything. You have to pay attention to a base runner. It just creates a whole like dynamic for a team. A guy getting a hit, you're like, okay, yeah, we can hit this guy. DJ is awesome. Just making contact. Like, people don't.
It's not valued enough in today's game. We talk about this all the time. It's just, everybody wants to talk about the power, and that's fine. You have to have some power in today's game, but there still needs to be that balance. And I think he showed last season that when you bring a guy like him to this team, he balances it out perfectly because he makes contact. He doesn't strike out. He's always under 100 and something strikeouts every year. He's in the 90s and the 80s, and he hits over 300. And he's the guy who can. He just like you said, he sprays the ball around the field, and it's not always about the stats, and it's just simple things like getting the right hit at the right time or settling for what you need to do as opposed to just trying to make the big swing. That's why he's so important to this team, and his value has never been higher with this Yankees team. He needs to be out on that field, and I love him personally. I really like him at the top of that lineup. I think that's perfectly. It's perfect. It's a perfect spot for him. But like you said, it just comes down to is it enough? Is it enough to just have LeMahieu, and when you have other guys in this lineup who still strike out a ton? Obviously, Gary Sanchez hasn't really lived up to expectations. Everybody expected him to be this almighty fucking god, and let's be honest, he's a slug out there. And there's one thing that Gary Sanchez does in the baseball field. There's literally one thing. Maybe he has a cannon of an arm, but even that sometimes is inaccurate. But yeah.
I think he's an average defender at best. Behind the plate. In 2016, man, I remember my freshman year of college. I'm still here in college, but I was just getting acclimated to college, and every day, like, I would turn on the Yankees, and it seemed like every freaking day, Gary would come up and hit a home run. It was amazing.
He was hit 300.
Yes. It seemed like every day he was hitting a double or a home run, and I remember sitting in my dorm room like laughing, like it was funny. Like, Gary, he would get a hit every day, and now every time he comes up, I'm like, oh, here's Gary.
Yeah, exactly.
He's either gonna strike out, or if it's like 8-2 against the Orioles in the 7th inning, he'll hit a home run.
He'll run into a fastball.
You're like, oh, thanks, Gary.
And that's where part of just like counting stats is annoying, because it's all about the value of when it comes and how it comes. So that's an issue to me. I don't know. And especially without Austin Romine. I loved Austin Romine. Yes. And with somebody as unreliable as Sanchez now in the backup catching position, it's just, we don't have anybody to back him up. So when he does go down, because it's inevitable, he's going to pull a groin or do something running the first base. Yeah. When it happens, it's going to be even worse out there. So we don't have any depth at that position, and I'm not really comfortable about this lineup. I know everybody loves to talk about it, but will they make enough contact? And it comes down to that every single season. Literally every season, it comes down to making contact.
If Gary does does go down, I don't think it's a huge deal because, like I just said, all he does is hit home runs.
Well, who's behind him though? That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to hope that the rest of the lineup can continue to produce. DJ, if Judge is playing, if that's another question mark. Torres, and then Andujar, he's a big question mark for the season. Obviously we saw him in 2018. He was a beast. So I mean, he was probably our best hitter in 2018. Honestly, I would have to say he was all year. Just Miggy two bags.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I think his bat can be very good for this team because he's another guy who hits the ball hard. You know, he's a line drive hitter. He'll hit the home run, but he can hit line drives and he'll hit the double. He makes contact. What he hit 297 or something a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Before the injury, he hit 297, and I think he has the chance to hover around that mark again and hit at least 290 for this team and be a guy who doesn't strike out a lot. And it's about the defense with him. I'm not sure how this whole left field experience. I don't know how this whole left field thing is going to work.
I understand that, like, having his bat in the lineup is really important, and you want to have it in there because we saw he's a great hitter, right? He rakes, but he was the worst defender that we have probably have ever seen.
At third base for sure.
Yeah, he was one of the worst defenders I've ever seen, and they're trying to make him a utility player. Like, it just defies all logic. You're gonna take one of the worst defenders ever and try to throw him around the diamond. It doesn't make any sense, but
and again, it's like if we do opt to DH him, we have so many DHs on this team.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to fit everybody here.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to come down to either Andujar or Frazier. But I don't think, you said this too, I don't think the Yankees respect Frazier enough.
Mm-hmm. And this is another thing. I was just thinking about this the other day. Third base, obviously, he is not good at playing third base. He could be better in left field. Like, it's not probable, but he could be a better left fielder than he could be a third baseman. It's possible.
Sure.
I mean, that's just a thought that I was. It might happen. We don't know.
I don't know. I just feel like he's not. There's so many question marks still. I just feel like, and now with all these injuries on top of that, it's going to be hard to kind of stay optimistic here. But I think that the Aaron Judge news is supposed to. He's getting a test on Monday, they said.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. And if that's telling you, man, if he ends up getting surgery and if he's out for the year, forget about it because it's another guy who just he hasn't been able to repeat his rookie season.
They're dragging this on.
They are.
He's the superstar player. They're just saying, because I think like 2 weeks ago they were saying like, oh yeah, he's going to start ramping up soon, and obviously that has not happened. He's, like I said, he's a superstar player. They want to, I guess, keep the fans thinking he's going to be playing. He sells tickets and all that. I think if this was, I don't know, Mike Talkman, they would have already scheduled the surgery. Yeah. But I'm fully expecting either.
It's gonna be bad.
I'm fully expecting either a surgery announcement in the next few weeks, or at some point throughout the season, he's gonna get surgery. I'm fully expecting that to happen.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like we might get good news for now, Monday, but it's gonna come. It's coming, and just like it did with Severino, because when he got hurt 2 years ago, I knew something was. I've said this is gonna end with some kind of season-ending surgery, and here we are 2 years later talking about it. It's gonna happen with Judge, and I'm telling you, it's inevitable. And
oh yeah.
So you just talk about the job. I don't like using the word overrated, but when talking about the job Ryan Cashman has done, and you look back, we're 4 years into this process, and we're still talking about if. It's just...
Bro, 2018 was supposed to be the year, and it's, what are we, in 2020 now? I mean, a lot of stuff has not played out the way it should have, and I mean, I guess everything's just, the timeline's been pushed back because of the players haven't lived up to their billing. A lot of injuries and.
I mean, you just look at the contracts he's handed out. Hicks' contract is terrible. The Severino contract, obviously the Stanton contract, and this core that we brought up to be so great. Gary Sanchez, as we said, he hasn't lived up to that expectation. Nobody's staying healthy. Greg Bird was originally supposed to be part of this core. He's a bust. He's gone. So these guys that we're bringing up, they're just very unreliable. And again, we're 4 years into this whole thing, and we're still talking about what they can do. It's about time we should be seeing results by this time, but nothing yet. So
a lot of fans will say, "Oh, we made it to the ALCS twice, and we made it to the ALDS and just got ran over by a freight train, which was the Red Sox." But that's not results to us.
No, it's New York, man. It's New York. It's World Series or bust.
The season starts in October, and you want it to last 4 weeks, not 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that hasn't happened here lately, which is disappointing. And we gotta pray that Garrett Cole stays healthy, and he can make, I don't know, what is it, like 6 or 7 starts in October this year.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, I'm trying my best to stay optimistic with this whole thing, but just between the injuries and everything that's just coming out, it's hard. And it sucks because I wanted to have this season be of the year, and especially with the whole Astros scandal, it's like we could have used that as motivation, and I could have been excited with that whole thing, but now it's just like we're coming into the season with more pessimism because of all these injuries, and it sucks.
Like, when we signed Cole, obviously we were excited. I was excited. And I thought we would probably be the favorites to win the AL. And now all this garbage is coming out. We really didn't do anything after signing Cole, which, I guess is okay.
Came back to bite him, though.
Yeah. But, it's just tough to be excited after all this injury news. It's not good.
Yeah, and I'm not, to make it clear, I'm not necessarily giving up now. I'm just definitely not where I was 3-4 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. I think now we just have to kind of manage our expectations here and I guess wait on the news with Judge, but it's we'll see what happens, man. Real quick, guys, if you haven't yet, subscribe to BD4 on Apple, Google, and all those different platforms. You can go to my website, nysportstalkrc.wordpress.com. And if you haven't followed me yet, do so on Facebook and on Twitter at nysportstalkrc. If you haven't followed the Instagram, be sure to follow at Rob J. Carbone. And guys, if you haven't downloaded the Anchor app, be sure to do that. Anchor is the app. And if you want to go to their website, anchor.fm, be sure to do that as well. It's a free podcast hosting site, and they pay you just to read an advertisement like I'm doing right now. They distribute your podcast for you. They'll put it on Spotify, Apple, and they will just do it all for you, and they'll pay you for it. So please, guys, go download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm. Dom, thanks so much for coming on, man. I appreciate everything. Loved your insight. This was fun, man. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Rob. Let's do it again.
Man. Oh, we will. When we're mid-season and we're chasing the fucking Rays, I'm sure it'll be a fun one.
Chasing the Rays when Cole has a 4.5 ERA.
Yeah, exactly.
Boot off the mound in the Bronx. No, when Big Mike Stanton gets booed after his third 0-for-5 game of the year.
He won't even be here, to be honest. You're giving him too much credit. He's going to be gone. He'll be done.
He is stuck here, Rob.
You said it to me early. He's not going to want to be here. I feel like maybe the money will kind of edge him out, but I feel like he's just taking so much shit.
If he doesn't start opening day, which there's like
he's not. He already said he's not going to be here opening day.
His first at bat in the Bronx, he's going to get booed.
Oh yeah.
Last postseason, obviously that was a debacle. 2018 postseason was a debacle. So also another thing I want to point out here when we talk about Big Mike. Remember after Game 6, he basically he ran out of the locker room. He didn't answer questions. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. I lost respect for him that day. At least beforehand, I had respect for him.
Yes.
But that was it for me.
I know. I remember I was sitting exactly where I am, and I was in our Twitter group chat, and one of my good buddies in there, Tom, he I think he asked Brian Hoke. He was like, "Did Stanton
I saw that on Twitter.
answer any questions after the game?" And he was like, "No, he left." And Tom was just completely irate.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom. But yeah, that was just a horrible look for Big Mike as well.
Yeah. So
I don't know if a lot of fans know about that actually happening.
what happened? It should be out there more.
Yeah. But that's a horrible look, and he should get booze for that.
It's, I'm done with him. Like I said, that was it. I have no respect for him after that.
Yep.
Man, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Rob.
All right, guys.
All right.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that fun stuff. If you want to follow BD4 on all the different platforms we have, all you have to do is go to my website, nysportstalkrc.wordpress.com. Once again, that's nysportstalkrc.wordpress.com. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Ciao.